Today we're going to be discussing why Michael DeSanta actually went back to robbing after he's been out of the business for almost 10 years. And there's actually, like with a lot of these videos, more to it than the stuff everyone catches during the in-game cutscenes. And as always, we'll start with the most obvious part, and that is the fact that he didn't really know how to do anything else, all while he had to pay Mark Madrazo $2.5 million, and he simply had no option than to go back to robbing. Hell, after the initial meeting with Madrazo, Michael himself says to Franklin that he only knows one way to make money, and in that same scene, he also says that he is in debt and that, quote, he's mortgaged up to his eyeballs. And this leads me right to the second reason for his return to crime, and that is the fact that at this point in the game, at the start of the game, despite the fact that he lived in a big mansion in Rockford Hills, Michael was broke. Now sure, back after the prologue, Michael had millions likely saved somewhere, but over the course of the almost decade, him and his family weren't really responsible with that money, so pretty much all of that was gone by the beginning of the game in 2013. Another reason is that he just met Franklin, someone who already proved himself to be capable and would be a good addition to Michael's crew. There's also the matter of Michael getting back in touch with Lester fairly easily, and now he also has someone to help with the heist that he's planning and someone to actually plan how the heist is going down, that of course being Lester. Another reason is that Michael was simply bored with his life and he missed that excitement of his previous life. Real quick, before we continue, I want to ask you to please subscribe to the YouTube channel. That would help me out a lot. Also leave a like on this video if you are enjoying it, and also feel free to check out my channel memberships if you want to help support the channel. That would all mean a lot to me. Thanks. Because by this point, all that Michael really did was sit on the couch and watch movies, or maybe daydream by the pool from time to time. So it's not like his life was particularly interesting. Hell, it was quite boring. So pretty much he didn't really have anything else to do, and this also ties into my next reason. It's that he missed his old life. In a conversation with Dr. Freelander, he says something along the lines of, yeah, I mean, I want to be a family man, but at the same time I really want the other stuff too. So clearly, to some degree, he misses that rush, that thrill of doing heists again, just like he did back in the day. The big issue, however, here is that he is romanticizing those old days, seeing them better in his head than they actually were. But we know that as soon as everything unfolded, Davey and all those guys got involved into the whole shit show, Michael realized that the old days weren't really as good as he remembered them being, and ultimately, after the big one, he chose to finally retire, this time for good, and actually focus on his family life rather than just ignore his family and then argue with them, which is all that he's been doing in regards to his family life for all these years, so he definitely has a lot to make up for. So finally, it all comes down to everything lining up for Michael in a way that he kind of convinces himself in his head that he pretty much has to go back to his old life, that there's no choice. The boredom, the debts, the unsatisfaction with his current life, and the romanticizing of the past were all big factors in Michael's decision to go back to the life he thought he wanted to return to before ultimately leaving it for good after he got a taste of what it was all really like. And with that said, I want to thank you for watching this little GTA 5 lore video about Michael and his return to crime. Until the next video stream, bye bye.